Hi everyone, I'm trying to get the hydrangea garden cleaned up for the spring and summer, and I thought I would kind of give you a little bit of a tour of what's going on up here. This garden has been so low maintenance. It's 2 years old. It looks like it's been here forever, and I'll just show you what we do every year. In the fall we do a basic cleanup, but these days we don't strip it completely. We don't cut everything down. We only cut down here and there different things, but most things we just leave their flowers up and everything for insects to harbor, and the leaf matter to break down as much as it can. And then we come in the spring and we clean up most of the leaf matter, because I'll show you how in this video I'll show you how the phlox that was covered in leaves is not blooming. It's barely holding on, and it's the same color phlox as the phlox that's blooming along here. So that's something you want to keep in mind. Loads of leaves on top block light, they block air, and they block moisture. So we leave a lot of different organic matter, but 3/4 of it we do pull up, because we have found that. And if you leave it through the summer here, because we have such high humidity, everything gets fungus and spores, and then we have all kinds of problems that way. So it's kind of a management thing on your property. If you're very dry, you won't have those problems, but you also won't get breakdown of your leaves. So I run them through the mower a couple times, and I'm using them to fill the new raised beds, and then also I'll put some around the plants. Okay, so what we do is, in the spring, we come and then we'll blow out most of the leaf matter. We'll leave the small debris in. Then after I get most of it out, the next thing that goes down is cow manure. Plant tones and holly tones and all those things they're really great at certain times. But what you want to do is start building soil. And you build soil with compost. Anything composted, that's good, not meat or anything like that, but the things that you're supposed to be composting, vegetable matter, eggshells, cow manures, chicken manures, all of that stuff, that's what you want to put in before your mulch. And get that in, and this is what a garden looks like when it's taken care of this way. And we totally back off of fertilizers. I don't fertilize with anything else. Twice a year, I put down black cow. Now, once the plants are mature. All right, so I'll get back to doing the composting and the mulch, and then I'll give you a little bit of a tour. Okay, so here's a classic reason of a couple people last year had asked me why we clean up the leaves and why we just don't leave them. Well, here's the reason. You see this phlox here and how beautiful it is? Because this entire pile of leaves just came off of this phlox plant. It's not blooming, it got no light, and it's just holding on. Most of it's dead because it's getting no light. The leaves just don't get enough wetness to break down. They just stay on top, blocking light. They don't break down on their own. You have to put them through the mower, or they just basically will just hover on top of the plants. And eventually our plants die. And then when the humidity sets in New Jersey, which is sometimes very high all summer long, they get fungus on them because they're sitting underneath the leaves. So then that gives them a double whammy. So this is why we clean up our leaves, because that's the difference. These are all the same phlox plants, but the ones that are not, that the leaves were pulled off of in the fall, look brilliant. And the one I just uncovered got no light. or air, or probably water. Probably those leaves are blocking water. Unless you get inches of rain, it's not going to get underneath those leaves. And here you can see we have some landscape fabric. We've been slowly picking it up. So that will be completely removed. We practice the no dig method. Some people put newspapers down, cardboard. I don't want that in my front garden. I don't think my neighbors would appreciate it. So what I do is put the black landscape fabric down, and then I lift it up. Within a year or two, it kind of starts coming up, and then you just keep cutting it away. So all of this up front is gone, but from here back we have some more. A lot of that's been cut away, so we're kind of slowly working at it to get it all out of here. You usually only need it 1 or 2 years, and then you can remove all of your landscape fabric on a new garden. But it is some labor to remove the fabric, so a lot of people don't like to have to do that. It doesn't bother me at all. Okay, so we're at the top of the hydrangea garden, and it's called the hydrangea garden because there are 14 hydrangeas in this bed. We have phantoms. We have a lot of proven winners in this bed. There's a quick fire back in here. The phantoms are all the way in the back because they grow really big. These pots are going to probably need repotting. We have some dead on them. And I believe it was because we had like a feast or famine winter. It was either really dry or snow covered, and the snow lasted a long time, so it acts as an insulator, and not much was running down and watering the pots. So there's a hydrangea there, and that is definitely a proven winners. I'm forgetting which ones. I have them all written down. Sorry about that. These are Green Mountain boxwoods we have up front. That is an oak leaf hydrangea right there that we transplanted. It was really sick at the nursery, and we felt bad for 2 of them, and we brought them home. Then you got the cherry laurels. This is one of those hydrangeas that turns 3 colors. It's pretty cool. We have a still bee. The phlox is blooming like crazy. It's just an awesome year for phlox. It is getting ready to storm any second now, so I'm going to try to do a very quick tour. The azaleas are coming in beautiful. With all their buds, they're going to open up soon, and they will be gorgeous. There's a couple back there. These are, I think, cherry laurels. They're the better ones. I think mountain laurel or cherry laurel. One's invasive, one is not. More boxwoods here, which are extremely healthy, doing well. We haven't seen any signs of blight or anything in our property. More phlox. You can look back on the phlox. This is a tough stuff hydrangea. It's starting to leaf up. These are proven winners Let's Dance here. Still looking like sticks, but they're all alive and budding. Then of course we have the fountain garden, which has beautiful succulents doing really well. I've given them their feed, and now they should just continue. Lamium. And evergreen, juniper there, and there's a Green Mountain boxwood in there also, a very tiny one that will be transplanted as it gets bigger. Your coral bells. The laurels are getting their little blooms on them. They have been great, low maintenance, no problems with them. There's another Let's Dance hydrangea, not yet budded, but you can see at the bottoms, there's Signs of life, they're coming back. Have the phlox again. Really is a pretty picture right now with the phlox all blooming. It's so nice to have spring bloomers like that. And then when the azaleas go, it'll be beautiful. The fountain cherry's looking really pretty. This is another Tough Stuff, Proven Winners Tough Stuff hydrangea. Oh, we have the wild berry heucheras all throughout here. There's 3 on either side, which are coming back. In here, right there, there's one. They're darker, so they're harder to see. Daylilies, of course. That's these are daisies that we're looking to transplant, but they're just coming back in the pots. This is the bush that Ray had transferred from the herbaceous border, and it's doing really well. Although what we can see is we brought along some black-eyed Susans with it. I guess they reseeded around this bush. So there are definitely black-eyed Susans that I'm going to have to transplant out of there. Those are the common orange daylilies underneath there. These were grown from seed. And they're doing really well. They should start blooming really soon. And then there's just various plants. I'm not sure what they are yet. They haven't come up completely. And more daylilies that have escaped, which will be moved out of there. And basically they can become like weeds. So we're very strict with them. The irises, the bearded irises, are beginning to bloom. These were Ray's mom's plants. So they have their buds on them. So they will be blooming soon. This is a Hydrangea. There's another hydrangea. This is a different one, and I forget which one this one might be. Until they're all budded up and leafed, they're hard to tell without my chart. That's why it's important to keep charts on what you have in your garden. Here's another quick fire hydrangea, and then this is the other kind of sickly oak leaf hydrangea, and these are coming in, and I suspect after a couple years they're going to look gorgeous. Oak leaf hydrangeas take a bit to get going here, but once they do, this is what we call a green blob. It just sits there, evergreen, and looks like a blob, and I forget the name. It's probably like a compact holly or something like that. So it doesn't do much. So we've referred to it as the green blob. And there's another hydrangea over here. And then we have a couple arborvitaes that are not getting enough light. So we might be putting something else there that's going to enjoy the light. It is part sun, but it's still not enough for those arborvitaes. They're not doing so great. We have 3 in the back here, and I planted them because our cypress border will be aging in another 10 years. So I wanted to start some evergreens in front of them so that when they die and have to be removed, they don't live long, 20, 25 years. We will have some evergreens, but it is a shade garden. So these arborvitaes seem to be adapting well and doing great. They do need to be tied together. You see how they're split. So I will probably try to Velcro those together to encourage them to not do that, or cut it off, one or the other. We'll have to see when I get in there. Very end, one of my bags blew into this flower garden. There's phlox. Ajuga is blooming right now. The Ajuga bloomed really beautiful this year. Sorry about the black cow bag, but we have lots of flowers in here. And they're just now starting to peek their heads in. This is the triangle garden, or what I call my sunshine garden, because it's just the happiest, full of flowers garden. There is some golden barberry back there along the edge there. We have a hydrangea in the middle, a Cuba. Back there, that is a city line Mars. Hydrangea in there. We have daylilies. More of the ajuga that's blooming wonderful. If you've been watching my videos, you know how much I love ajuga. I know people hate it. I absolutely adore it. Here's a climbing hydrangea. It's gonna hopefully this year reach the top. They kind of sleep for a few years. They're kind of like ivy. First year they sleep, second year they creep, and third year they leap kind of plant. So you kind of get a period of time where they just seem like they're not unhappy. They just sit and they kind of get their roots, and then all of a sudden they dig in, and they're very easy on our property to take care of. We have, I think right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 climbing hydrangeas on the property. I think all total we might have 60 hydrangeas on the property, and I think almost 30 different types. Okay, so this is the hydrangea garden. It's starting to come in, and it's looking really good. We're gonna have to level off our fountain. My youngest and her boyfriend are gonna come and help us level that off, because when we put that fountain in, it was muddy. So it kind of moved quite a bit. So we will be repositioning that and stabilizing it. So that's it. That's what we're looking like right now. I think it's looking quite pretty. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.